So hello, my name's Andy Lester. I'm an engineer with Red Lion and I'm here with LC Automation to talk about data logging with the FlexEdge using the Crimson 3.2 software. So what we have is a project here to simulate a tank. We've got a number of tags that I've pre-made in here, and what we're going to do is basically log two types of log. The first one being a log every 60 seconds where we'll take the tank level and the tank temperature every 60 seconds and just put that as a history of what we've got, put it into a CSV file so we can access that later. In addition, what I want to do is I want to monitor this tank alarm, and if that tank alarm goes off, I want to capture everything that we have about this tank as a one-off triggered snapshot. So we're taking two types of data log here. We're taking one every 60 seconds and another one when an alarm goes off. So this is how we do it. We come down here to data logger and we'll create a new data log. In there we have setup and contents, so they're the two main features we're going to be looking at. Contents is fairly straightforward. We just drag in the tank level and the temperature level because we want to record those every 60 seconds. They're the two we want to record. Next thing we do is we go to setup, and as you can see, every 60 seconds is already written in there by default. We can change that down to once a second or every 6 seconds or whatever we like, every hour. This one's set to every 60 seconds. There's 1440 minutes in a day, so it will create a new file at the end of the day. And then, after 7 days, it will rewrite over the first file. That way, our SD card is kept within its boundary of the range of data that you've allowed for it. So effectively what we're going to see with this data, and I'm going to recall this one tank 1, tank, let's go 1. We're going to see every 60 seconds the contents of the level and the temperature being recorded onto a CSV file. So you'll see date, comma, time, comma, tank level 1, comma, tank temperature 1 every 60 seconds. And it's that simple. So the second thing we want to do is set up a triggered snapshot. So if I go back, we've got data log, and we go to create a new one here, and I'm going to call this one alarm. So if I rename that ALARM, what we can do there, instead of it being a continuous sample effectively, what we want is a triggered snapshot. So down here we have a log trigger. You can see it's grayed out at the moment. If I change that to a triggered snapshot, this now becomes available. What we can do is we could then take a tag, typically a flag tag, and we'll use this flag tag to trigger a snapshot of the data that we're interested in. So when the alarm goes off, we can ignore this. What we can do is we can look back in contents and we can take a snapshot of all the tags that we're interested in. I'm just going to grab everything this time. And again, it's that simple. So with those quick features, we've managed to make a tank alarm, which runs every 60 seconds, as we can see here, with the contents of the tank level and the tank temperature. And we have a second log file which takes a snapshot of everything, but it only does it when this tank temperature alarm goes to a 1, so we take the snapshot then. As an extra, after we've taken all these logs, one of the things we might want to do is display these logs on a display page. So we just simply go up here to display page, click on that, we go across to, and I'll show you from the root, we go down, this is the root file, and we go down to system primitives, and now we can see the various viewers that we have. We have a trend viewer in there. We can take the trend viewer out, we can resize it, right click it, and go to properties. So the properties of that trend viewer come up, and up here in the corner we have the data log that it's associated with, and we can simply link it to, for example, tank 1. Tank 1, it'll go and have a look and see that there's two values in there. and it can plot two pens with the tank level and the tank temperature continuously. So you'll have a good 24-hour view of what's going on with that simple trend viewer. In addition to that, you might want to back up that data, and there's a whole range of ways of doing that. We can do it with FTP, or we can do it with one of, say, 300 protocols that we have. If I go to communications, we've got MQTT over on the version here, so we've got Amazon, Microsoft, Google, Sparkplug is another one we use. So we can talk MQTT to a lot of devices and back up that data. In addition, we can use OPC UA, is another great way of doing it, or even sync it with a Microsoft database with SQL. Like I say, we've got 300 protocols we can use, and they're simple to do. I'll do OPC UA, and as you can imagine, if we go to it, we allow it, we take in the data we're interested in, we drag and drop our data in there that we're interested in. I can add more later on, I'll add if the pump is on. And that data will be published by OPC UA. But to go into detail on that later, and to go into detail on setting up tags, we have other videos. Additionally, what we can also do is back up onto a memory stick. What we can do is we can take the USB that we have here, we monitor that. When somebody puts in a memory stick, we can transfer some of those data logs to the memory stick. You choose which ones to do. So for more information on FlexEdge and other technical products, get in touch with LC Automation's technical engineers.